Hello, everybody. It is closing time, basically. Sitting here, walking around, cleaning up shop a little bit. The guys for the Kremlin machine they're out of here for now. They are putting together this monster line of equipment. But what I wanted to talk about today was what doors we cannot put through here, what doors we cannot spray, because it's really important. A lot of customers will call and say, I want my cabinets refinished, or I want them painted, I want them refinished. And one of the questions we go through is anything wrong? Is it broken? Anything needs to be fixed? A lot of times it's no. A lot of times it's the drawer underneath or the doors underneath my sink are broken. My kids ran into a door and they knocked the hinges off, and I glued it back together. Those are all fixable items as long as the door is in pretty good shape. Now, a lot of the MDF doors, those are the new age doors, late 90s and into now. They're made out of MDF. MDF is basically a cardboard. It's a very hardly pressed cardboard. MDF is a medium dense fiberboard. UDF is an ultra dense fiberboard, and there's some other density fiberboards around. There's good places to use those, and there's not so good places to use those. The better of the coating, you're going to have a better, really the better ability to stretch out the MDF life. But a very cheap coating on cheap MDF, it's going to fall apart. If you've ever seen an MDF door break apart, it's almost like a phone book. Do you remember back in the day, I might be aging myself or dating myself, when they used to throw the new phone book out, the yellow pages would come out, and they would throw it on your porch. Well, if it rained, you were screwed because that phone book was destroyed forever and you couldn't ever get it to go back to normal. It couldn't dry right, nothing. That's what MDF with moisture, that's what happens. It's paper and it's going to swell and you're not going to get it to go back down. You can't sand MDF. You can't sand it when it's ruined. You can sand it, but you can't sand it after it's ruined. So when I ask people, is anything wrong with your cabinets? And they say nothing, the kids broke the hinge, etc. I can fix that. But some doors I can't fix. There's definitely some things I can't spray, and there's some things I can't spray by hand. What are they? First one is if it has been previously stained before by a non-professional. Now, a professional finisher is going to do a professional job using professional equipment. They're most likely going to take off the previous finish and put on a new professional finish. So if I take off the clear coat of a previous finish, I'm going to marry the existing finish with a new professional finish, and they're going to marry. They're going to melt or meld in one coating to the next. That is basically it coming off the shelf as a new color. I can do that. A stain door is a little tougher because a lot of times people use gel stain, which is what this is. Let me show. I'm actually going to bring these into the booth. Maybe not. This is a gel stain on a door. So this is a trick. This is what the door looked like. This is golden oak. A lot of people have this. This is golden oak door. Somebody decided to use gel stain on this, and that's what you see here. Now, this gel stain has been very well applied, or it's dried very well, let's say that. It's enough where it's not I can't pick it off with my finger now. So that's one test that we do. We typically don't do this, but this is for a buddy of mine, so we are going to do it anyway. So this is a gel stain. Now, typically, if you were a client and you say, or you're asking for a quote, and I say, is anything wrong? And then I look at this, and this is curious because this is really not a typical color cabinet makers would give. And I say, well, what is that? What's that finish on there? Can you open the door? Let me see the back of a drawer. These are really good ways to figure out what's been done. So the back of this drawer, that's the existing color. So whoever decided to do this never took the drawer off, which is another, that's another way to figure out that it was done by an amateur. So this is, they left the drawer face on the drawer box, and that's what you're seeing here. Then I ask, what is this? This is gel stain. Typically, I would say, no, we cannot refinish this. So again, if you're looking for a quote and you've had a gel stain put on your cabinets by you or somebody else, chances are I'm going to say no, they can't be refinished. And there's reasons for that. Now, for this, I'm going to run this through one of our sanding machines over there. Now, this has been applied very well. This gel stain is very old and it's cured. It's years old. If I run a regular stain, new gel stain through a sanding machine, it's going to clog up the sand or the sanding pads in there, and I can't have that because those sanding pads are $1,000 each. It's very expensive to do. So I'm not going to run a new stain door done by non-professional through the machine. So that's one thing. Now, this has been, nothing's done to this door. So this door looks good. This is an original golden oak-ish door. This looks almost like it's a pickle wash on there. Nothing, this just needs to be cleaned and run through. I can do this. These, again, iffy. Probably going to say no. If we're ever going to stain something, we're going to take the clear coat off. I generally don't restain doors because spray stains, you're going to use a catalyzed, it's really shading a door is what you're going to use. It's a catalyzed material. It's pre-catalyzed, so it comes catalyzed and has an open or a pot life of about 6 months. So you get whatever color and you just spray it on. It's a very easy application. But I can't do it on something that's been previously stained. Now, something like this, something that's been previously painted, absolutely not. Will not come to our shop, and we will not do it. These doors are previously painted. These won't get done. They're going to be sent back. And unfortunately, we have to use this as an example. But it's a big question. It's one of those questions. My doors have been painted. I did it myself. I use chalk paint. I use cabinet coat. I use Advanced. I use emerald urethane. What are the other ones that are popular? You know, Behr has something. If anything has been painted from paint store paint, cabinet coat, Advanced, Behr, etc., we will not touch it. And if you're a professional finisher, you shouldn't touch it either. Because honestly, the cost of a new door is less expensive than doing the prep work needed on this. So this was an oak cabinet door. And it is, from the picture, from this distance, looks pretty good. But when you get really close to it, I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but you see how the grain is all filled in? That caulk line is filled in. There's no gap between the panel. There's no gap between the panel and the frame anymore. This is all filled in. And the finish on this is atrocious. This is what you're going to get from a painted door by hand. So if anybody says I brush and roll doors and I make it look as good as make it look as good as a finisher, no, it is not possible. We do not refinish painted doors at all. Never will do it. The body, though, is different. Well, let me take you back. The reason we won't paint or refinish a painted door is the cost of the labor. And there's so much material inside the little teeny crevices of that door, I can't get it out. That's been painted and smushed in and brushed. That latex paint, most likely, that's what that is. And you could tell by sanding it. If it sands and powders up, it's oil-based. If it doesn't do that, it gums up. It's a latex-based paint. There's some acrylic paints that sand off smooth, but this is a terrible job, so it's probably latex paint, most likely. And it's gumming up, it's not powdering off. There's so much material inside the grain of the wood that I can't get it out, and I'm not going to put a really good finish on a really, really terrible piece of, or a really poorly prepped job before, because my finish is sitting on top of that, and my finish is only as good as the substrate it's on. It's only as good as what I'm putting it on. So if it's putting it on that, even if I sand all that off, which is really not possible, you'd have to strip that door chemically to get it off in any sort of amount of time that's going to make you money. Just not something we do. So we offer new doors. This is what you need to do. This is a raised panel new door. We do build the doors here. We build the doors, we finish them here, and we do them in a lot of different styles. Where are we at? So this is a raised panel door. This is a maple door. It's paint grade maple. So I'm not really too worried about the color distortion between the boards that are used here. This is paint grade maple. You can get stain grade maple, which is really something that you would stain, but you can get something that it's select maple and you don't see these brown spots. But if this is going to go a solid color, this is what generally you're going to get. And then the shaker style door, which is super popular. This is a wider frame shaker. This is a 3-inch shaker frame, and it has a 5-degree bevel on the inside. So this is what a shaker door looks like. So this is what we build. And there's a bunch of other varieties, different wood species that we can make these in, and then they get finished. So the cost difference of working by hand to somehow sand and strip and take out all the gunk of that door isn't even close to being worth the brand new door look. This is gonna give you a brand new kitchen. That's a Band-Aid, and that's not a professional job to do. So again, I don't wanna use that as an example too many times, but it's a perfect example. I cannot finish previously painted door, and I typically won't finish a door that's been previously stained with gel stain. Just the costs and the ultimate, you're spending good money, you want a really good finish. If you spend good money on something that shouldn't be finished, I don't like that. That's someone getting used. What I want to do is spend a little bit more money, get a brand new door and a finish that's gonna last a lifetime. That's what you want. We're gonna be spraying it in our booth. I'm gonna walk you in there because we have a couple pieces in there, a couple sets that have been sprayed with 2 different types of machines. The finish is very close. Some distinctions between either one, only really a professional could pick up, but these are both water-based coatings that are sprayed on here. One is sprayed with an Airless, and one is sprayed with an air-assisted Airless. It's a little different. The sheen is just a little different, and it's very discriminatory that you can pick this up. But this is a 20 sheen on a water-based coating, sprayed with an Airless. This is sprayed with a Tritech T5 Airless sprayer by Jason. Great job, he did a great job. These are sprayed with a air-assisted Kremlin, and it's just, the sheen is just a little different. I mean, it's just got a little bit of a shinier look to it. And the reason is the air-assisted Airless, the Kremlins, what we spray in the shop here, just have a little bit of a better transfer. And it's just slight. You're not gonna really pay attention to it. You wouldn't notice it if I put it up on a wall. You know, if I put one set up and put another set up, professional finisher will notice the difference. And that's the reason, and both machines are very comparable. If you don't have a setup where you can use an air-assisted Airless like a Kremlin, the T5 is a fantastic machine. I saw it today, did a really good job. This is a fantastic, Jason did a fantastic job finishing these doors. And Steve did a fantastic job finishing with the Kremlin. Kremlin's what we use in the booth. There's no electric, so I'm walking in circles. But air does everything. This is an air pump system. So there's no power. Everything is done through a compressor line here, and it runs off the big compressor. So these are 2 of the finishes. I actually have one of the doors. Did I bring it in? Yeah, I did. So this is the painted door that we won't finish. And if you could see, can you see the finish in here better? Yeah, see that? If anybody says they brush and roll and it looks good, I mean, this is not a really good job. This is pretty much a terrible job, but this is what a brush and roll door would look like. You do not want this. This is not professional, and don't pay for this. Get a new door. This would be the new door. So I know I'm harping on it, but it's very important for you to know what you shouldn't spend money on. This needs a new door. That's it for now. You can see some cabinets being built behind me. These are primed. If you are a cabinet builder or cabinet company, cabinet shop, custom cabinet shop, we built these. We do build cabinets. But if you were a cabinet shop, like the blue cabinet behind me, and that's what this stuff just showed up, they finished them in the wrong color. They need a little darker of a tint. So custom cabinet shop, you guys can bring your cabinet. You can even bring your cabinet faces. This is something that's very interesting. You can bring the faces, not the body. You can bring the body, but it'd be very nice for you to bring the faces, not attached to the body. And we're gonna run the face frames through the machine. And then you're gonna take the finished face frame or even the prime face frame, and then you're gonna assemble it to the body. It's gonna save your finisher time on site. You have to make sure that you attach the finished face frame to the body with a little more care, but it's gonna give you the detail that you're looking for. If you want, like in our case, we wanted to prime all the cabinets before we sent them out to the home. Then we're gonna assemble this on site. We're going to ship out primed trim, all the footing, the baseboard trim, we don't have any filler strips. You can see we build cabinets as one. But all the extra trim pieces are gonna be sent out primed. And then we're gonna fill all the holes there and then put our finish coat on site. So if you're a custom cabinet shop, and you don't do your on-site finishing, we do that. 2 ways to do it. You can send out cabinets just like this. We also do finishing on-site, of course. You can send out cabinets like this. We'll spray them in the booth. We can spray them finished, and you can take them finished. We do that. You could also send just the face frames and then mount them onto the panels later. And then for doors, we have some cabinet shops that are ordering their doors through us, or they're ordering the doors or making the doors and then sending us their doors raw, and then we are spraying them. It's going to be a very quick turnaround compared to any of the other custom finishers that you use. Or if you're buying doors online, this is something you should perk your ears up. So if you're buying doors online, typical turnaround times right now are about 7 to 10 weeks. That would be prompt. Custom cabinets are about 4 to 7 months. So if you're a custom shop and you really want to expedite the process, you can bring us your raw doors, we'll finish them Monday, pick up Monday. That's basically a 5 business day turnaround. You drop off Monday, depending on the time of the day, you can pick it up the next Monday. Rush order, a little different. You can get them a little sooner. But if you needed something done, if you're looking for custom cabinets and custom custom doors for refacing, we're about a 2.5 week delivery into the booth on a custom door order. So if you're looking to reface your kitchen and you want to do it on your own, you want to DIY this project, you want to send us, I will send you the Excel spreadsheet, you can fill it out. That's going to give you doors, drawers, drawer boxes, and panels. And you can really make it nice. You can even do trim runoff. We will get those back in your hands in less than a month. If you're if you're looking to have us do the whole project, that means we're going to do the in-home portion as well. We're booking out about a month and a half. So you're about 5 weeks, maybe 2 months out. But again, the door orders come back for the regular homeowner looking to reface a DIY version, or a custom cabinet builder looking to get somebody to make their doors and get them back to you. You're less than a month. And you can't beat that. I won't go prices right now. Trying to work on where I'm going to fall with the prices with today's market, trying to beat everybody else. That's going to be good. Especially with the machine, we're going to really up production, drop price down for everybody else. We do have a homeowner version of the material that we use. Now, we use spray-only material. You can't brush and roll what we use, but there are homeowner versions, if you do want to DIY, that you could brush and roll. You need to come in for a little training. We'll do a little, arts and craft training, show you how to brush it so you don't really have too many brush strokes. I mean, I know you're not a professional, but a little bit of training goes a long way. If you're going to do a reface, that's a new door. Let me show you something that's very important to know about covering the frames that you're painting by hand. Let's pretend that you are a DIYer and you hate your kitchen color, and you got a quote from us and you say, oh my God, it's thousands more than I wanted to spend. Okay, no problem. You don't want to paint your doors because you're going to look like the doors on that rack over there. Terrible. What you want to do is give us your doors so you don't do that. We spray your doors. But then what about the body? You'll save $2,000 to $3,000 easy doing the body yourself. But how do you do that? Let's pretend that you're going to get new doors. Then you're going to do the body yourself. Well, when you measure for new doors, and I'll show you how to do this, typically the door is going to show the exposed side of the frame. This is called the overlay. This would be a partial overlay. It's going to expose it like this. Typically, cabinets are about 3/4 of an inch overlay. That would be average, maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4. Some of the cabinet manufacturers do 1 inch and 1/4 overlay. That's going to bring you out to about here. And that's what you want. You want to cover, if you're not a professional finisher and you're doing the in-home portion and you're refacing new doors, you want to cover as much of the cabinet body that you painted. You want to cover as much as possible. So I'm going to show you how to do a full overlay where if you painted this and it's not the finish that we do, but it's good enough, I want to show you how to measure to do a full overlay, and we're going to hide all that body with the beautiful doors that we're going to give you. That's a full overlay. It gets a little complicated because you have spaces. This would be 2 doors here. What you have to do is measure the opening, divide by 2, add the face frame, and subtract a 1/16 of an inch. It's an equation. It's not that hard, but it is hard when you start getting drawer overlays, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll make that easy for you. What I want you to know and take to heart is If you're doing a DIY reface and you're doing the face frames yourself, I'll teach you how to paint it by hand. It's probably not gonna look great, but I'm gonna teach you how to hide it with a full overlay door and a full overlay or full height end panel. So basically, it doesn't matter if you can't paint, we're gonna cover it up. That's it for now. If you're looking for a quote for refinishing, for new doors, you're a cabinet maker and you're looking for somebody to paint your cabinet boxes, the frames, you want to run the frames through the Kremlin machine because it's a lot easier. You're talking for this, your 2-day turnaround. If you were looking to DIY your own body, you're going to paint this by hand, but you want us to do the doors, that's great. Don't attempt to do the doors yourself. If you're a DIYer, you want to do the body yourself, save a couple $1,000 bucks, but you want new doors, we could do that as well.